I'd like to go ahead and call to order our meeting, the Brawley City Council and successor agency to the Brawley Community Redevelopment Agency, our regular meeting agenda for Tuesday, January 7th, 2020 at 6 p.m. here at the City Council Chambers, 383 Main Street in Brawley. And I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year before we get into our meeting.
The minutes will reflect all council members present.
And our Mayor Pro Tem will do us the honor of doing the invocation. Will everybody please stand?
Let's pray. Almighty God and our gracious Heavenly Father, we are very grateful to you tonight for bringing us back here safely, for getting us through this past year, through all of its challenges and all of its successes. And we acknowledge you for the success that we've had in making improvements in our city. And we ask for your help with the challenges that we have in front of us. We begin this new year by acknowledging your wisdom and your grace and your sovereignty over this city. And we ask that you would raise us up and give us the wisdom that we need to lead this city efficiently and effectively. We know that the government ultimately is upon your shoulders, so we ask that you would put us there, that we would be able to have vision and foresight to make wise decisions. We thank you for each and every person that is involved in this community, our city employees, our staff, our law enforcement, and our firefighters. We ask that you would continue to keep us safe, that we would acknowledge you in everything that we do. We thank you for your blessings. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Will our past mayor please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
You bet. And when facing the flag, ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can be specific, Norma. Sam was going to say it.
Thank you both. Thank you. Okay. We'll go ahead and move into our agenda. Need a motion to approve our agenda.
Also move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. Okay, we'll go ahead and move into public appearances and comments. And I believe we have a guest that has to be somewhere, so we'll go ahead and allow him to come up. But let me go ahead and read this first, and then I'll have you come up. Under public comments, this is a time for the public to address the council on any item not appearing on the agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city council. The mayor will recognize you, and when you come to the microphone, please state your name for the record. You are not allowed to make personal attacks on individuals or make comments which are slanderous or which may invade an individual's personal privacy. Please direct your questions and comments to the city council. Mr. Rizzuto, please come up. Thank you.
Good evening. Sean Rizzuto with Caltrans. I came here to give you a update on the mud pot and then also brief you on a new emergency contract that we are currently pursuing that's just west of the city of Brawley. So the mud pot contract has been essentially completed. We just finished setting the K-rail for the detour today. We'll paint it. There's a few lanes that are left. It's about 80 feet from the highway right now. So we're in a waiting mode to see where it goes. We do have our website still up for the project. We will be flying it with our drone this Thursday. So we're hoping we have an infrared camera that we're trying to look to see if we can get an indication of which way it's moving and the direction that it's going to move. So that's something of interest. Our new project is out at Tamarack Bridge. It's the West Side Main Canal. There's the bridge cone has eroded. The canal has actually eroded the bridge cone. It's the westbound direction, and we're getting some eddying and some erosion underneath our right-hand shoulder. So we just procured a $2 million emergency contract. We're going to be closing the westbound direction for a period of about 2 weeks. The actual date of the closure is still in question. I need to coordinate with IID Energy. There is an overhead power line that is in the way. What we need to do, the scope of the project is we're actually going to be excavating behind the back wall of the abutment, and then we're going to drive a sheet pile wall in a horseshoe fashion on both the east and west sides of the bridge in order to keep the material from eroding into the west side main canal. That will take, and then we're going to upgrade the metal beam guardrail. We're going to take all the asphalt off the bridge and do a polyester concrete overlay, which will extend the life of the bridge. And then we're going to have to transition in and out of that polyester concrete overlay. So as always, we're going to be reaching out to the community, making sure that everybody is aware well in advance of us closing that road. We're going to reach out to the off-road community, the trucking community, all the electeds, and the Chamber of Commerce here in Brawley and in Westmoreland, because we know that it affects you guys tremendously. We were actually contemplating going to work over the holidays, but after we cored the road, we determined that there was no danger to the traveled way. So we waited till after the holidays in order to execute the contract and begin the work. So
Okay.
that's where we're at. If you have any questions or comments or anybody that we should be notifying with our PIO, we will be sending out a preliminary announcement of this, and then once we have a finalized date, when the IID can actually get the overhead power line is in the way on the east side of the bridge, and it won't allow us to drive the sheet piles. So we're coordinating with them also. So we also need to coordinate with IID Water for permitting, because it goes over that canal, and that's a major canal for most of the agricultural activities in Imperial County.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? No? Okay, thank you so much for the information.
Thank you, Sean.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for the update.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, anyone else for public comments?
Gil Reblar. Just wanted to come up and say thank you to Mayor Pro Tem Luke Hamby for participating and helping in coordinating the winter clothing drive and churros and coffee that took place on Saturday. And thank you to Chief Sawyer for helping get the word out and for also donating some sweaters. It got literally hundreds of items that was way more than we expected. The village at BUHS picked up quite a few. The adult clothing and some of the children's clothing will be Valley Dry Cleaning offered to dry clean. So we'll be getting those clean, the ones that are used, and donating it directly to the schools. So, but thank you, Luke, for helping in that. And since I'm up here, the Air District, the Imperial County Air Pollution Control District just released a calendar. So the Air District had the first ever Clean Air Day calendar contest where county-wide students drew what clean air means to them, and we put it in a calendar, and it just got released. We had 5 students from Brawley who were the top 12, so I wanted to give these out to you guys and to have. And by the way, Sam, they were taking pictures of you because I told them you were the actor Warwick Davis. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Gilly. I appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Gil. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gil. Anybody else for public comments? Yes, please come up, Ryan.
Madam
Good
Mayor,
afternoon.
council members, we received a response from the state of California in regards to our emergency declaration. It was from the Natural Resources Agency and the Environmental Protection Agency, signed by both secretaries. There's a lot of information in the letter. It's 3 pages, and it is a public document, so I believe it's been shared, and if it hasn't, it will be. But the most significant part is that Governor Newsom will be releasing his proposed budget, and it will include $220 million more for Salton Sea restoration. So in the past 5 years, the state has now committed $500 million to Salton Sea restoration. Timelines are not in the letter. of when things are actually going to get done, but we'll continue to be vigilant on asking them to actually put something on the ground.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Deliver this significantly. Thank you, Madam Mayor. My name is Misty Lee. I'm the Executive Director for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Imperial Valley. And I just want to provide a quick update to our team program, the partnership we have with the city. I'm going to read, though, because I want to make sure I stay in my time. The Boys and Girls Club, our mission is to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. We envision a future where all kids graduate from high school with a plan for the future. And we help them get there by providing a world-class club experience for all who walk through our doors. We would like to thank the City of Brawley for our partnership and helping us work toward these ambitious goals. Since our teen-only program has been at the Teen Center, we have increased our numbers from 2 kids coming on a daily basis to about 18 with 29 registered teens. That's an 800% increase in daily attendance, and we look forward to increasing our membership more with the expanded use of the building. Our goal is to have 50 kids a day and maybe up to 75 kids registered. When the teens walk through our doors, they are met with an outcome-driven, high-quality club experience. They're greeted by caring adults who are vested in their future and are equipped with evidence-based programs that help them reach their full potential. Currently, several of the targeted programs that we're offering, one is Power Hour. It engages teens with homework help, tutoring, and encourages them to become self-directed learners. They are provided with computers and printers, and in partnership with ICOE, we offer BorderLink project. We offer free Wi-Fi for them as well. Our Triple Play program is a comprehensive health and wellness program. It strives to improve overall health of the teens by increasing daily physical activity, teaching them about good nutrition, and helping them develop healthy relationships. Soon we'll be starting our Career Launch program with the Ocotillo Wind Education Fund, which prepares teens for the world of work, but it allows them to explore possible vocations and make sound educational decisions to get them to where they want to be and to help them find success. We also currently at our clubs in Holtville and Brawley, we have a junior staff program that's funded through the county, through the community benefit program. And 2 of our 3 junior staff kids also receive a $100 stipend as part of the community benefit program. So we're thankful for that to the county. In 2015, the Boys and Girls Club of America commissioned a national study to estimate the return on investment for the services the Boys and Girls Club provide to youth and their families. What they discovered is that for $1 invested in the Boys and Girls Club, it returns $9 in current and future earnings and cost savings to their communities. The greatest benefits are found from the club members' improved grades, reduced alcohol use by the kids, and their parents' earnings. Our current local budget is $424,845, which projects to a little over $1 million in lifetime benefits to the youth, family, and our communities that we serve. Just a few statistics on the clubs. Teens who report an optimal club experience are 40% less likely to consume alcohol, 30% less likely to smoke marijuana, and 31% less likely to get in a physical fight. Clubs also contribute to major savings for society by helping to prevent costly expenditures for health care, public assistance programs, and criminal justice system involvement. Some of the local success stories that we've seen here as a result of the teen-only program that we've been operating since we've been in the Teen Center is we have a young man by the name of Victor who's achieved honor roll for the first time in his life. Savannah went from having bad grades, which I'm not going to say what those grades were, but to getting all A's. And we have Megan who is very shy, and she said that the club and the activities that we do with her have helped her kind of overcome some of her shyness and help her improve her communication skills. Alexis has been with us for about 8 years, and he is attending the team program, and he has realized he now wants to be a social worker because of some of the activities that he's engaged with us for career exploration. The Boys and Girls Club is a nonprofit that relies solely on donations from the community and grants. We work within a strict budget. At this time, the operational expenses such as utilities, phones, security, etc. for our team program were not in our current budget based on our previous MOU with the city. Our fiscal year ends June 30th, and we respectfully request that the City Council consider allowing us to continue to operate our programs throughout the remainder of the fiscal year at no cost. For 54 years, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Imperial Valley has served the community of Brawley as a nonprofit organization. And while in those 54 years, we've been called the Brawley Boys Club, the Brawley Boys and Girls Club, and when we expanded, we became the Boys and Girls Clubs of Imperial Valley. Our name has changed several times throughout the years, but one thing that's not changed is our commitment to our youth and our community. So I'd like to thank you very much for your time and consideration. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else for public comments?
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Ramon Castro.
Ernie Mariscal. Raymond Gonzalez.
Almost like we're on the podcast, huh? We're here tonight just to let everyone know we are planning our first Veterans Festival. It's going to be April 4th. We don't have everything put together yet, but we do have the site, locked on a few contracts for sound, lighting, and stage. The festival is going to include a health fair, and it's going to include members from the Veterans Benefits Administration. I don't know if you folks are familiar, but over the past 6 years or so, we've been doing what's called veteran seminars. We managed to help a couple of 100 veterans get their benefits through the information and the processing on the spot. So now we're looking to expand that. So there's going to be a lot of services there for them. We're not sure exactly what so far we put together.
It's going to have some like haircuts. You know, hopefully we're going to have some dentists out there that can help some veterans out. Also medical, but the main thing is for them to get benefits as well. And when they do get that, it's going to, you know, they're going to spend money here in the valley, which is going to help us out. So
Yeah,
it's a win-win all around.
Yeah, we've always talked about that when we've done our seminars. We take those veterans who need benefits. They've gone from no benefits to, let's say, 40-50% disability rating, which includes medical benefits, and obviously some more disposable income to live here, in the community. So far, we locked on dental screening, mental health screening, medical screening, diabetes screening, cardio. There'll be haircuts, and then of course, like any good Brawley festival, there will be we will have some beer games and there will be some live music. So it should be a fun event. We'll give you guys some more details here in another month or so. So that's all we got.
Did you mention? I'm sorry. Did you mention the location, or you don't have a location
Yes,
yet?
I don't have you know the physical address?
I don't know the physical
So
address.
it's the new medical facility at Katie Santillan, that's Paul
okay.
and Katie are building. We're gonna use the 2 acres directly east of that, so it's 2.5 acres. We're looking to take, not only are we gonna provide those services that day, but we're looking to take whatever profits that we make to give back to the certain organizations like the our Veterans Honor Wall that we still need, you know, to complete the full circle so that we can start adding names to the other side of the wall. So some of that money will be pushed in that direction, and others, so.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. When you came up here, I thought you were going to do like a Run DMC or something like that.
That's for the second meeting.
The second meeting.
Yeah, we'll have to be prepared for you.
There you go.
Oh, boy.
Okay, anybody else for public comments? Okay, then we'll go ahead and move on to our special presentation today. On November 16th of this past year, 2019, we had a big event over at Hinojosa Park, a tree planting at Hinojosa Park. The city of El Centro had received a CAL FIRE Urban Forest Grant for the installation of 1,400 trees throughout Imperial Valley. Brawley, Holtville, Imperial, and Calexico all worked together with the City of El Centro Community Services Department. A total of 350 trees were secured and designated for Brawley. The City of Brawley partnered with the Brawley Elementary School District and the Brawley Union High School to enhance public properties citywide. Approximately 35 trees were planted at Hinojosa Park on November 16, 2019. The trees were purchased from our Brawley local Green Patch Nursery. The tree planting efforts were made possible with the talents of Kelly Legates and the Ivy Urban Forest Project, Imperial County Air Pollution Control District, the City of El Centro, and the BOHS Student Interact Club. So at this time, and I also want to thank and recognize our Park and Rec commissioners for their participation in this particular project. So at this time, we wanted to recognize the youth that participated in the tree planting by presenting you with a certificate of recognition. So we'll go ahead and come down and call the names. I'm not sure if everybody's here, but if you are, we'd like for you to come forward and accept your certificate. Okay, you want to help me? Okay.
Alma.
AC. Can we turn it off? We don't need the AC.
Want it on?
It's cold in here. It's cold in
Bill's
here.
hot? He's ever hot for us?
Me, I'm cold. It's cold in here. You're just warm-blooded.
I have thin blood.
Are you cold or hot?
No,
We're putting on jackets out in the audience, man.
Sam's glasses are fogging up.
Yeah, my breath is starting to have mist.
Yeah.
Is that a question or a comment? Phil's hot, he said.
Norma, we're gonna go down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna go down? Let's go down. Well, yes.
So this was our lead person, the first one on the list.
Okay, our first certificate of recognition goes out to Brendan Garibay. And it's for the completion of the tree steward training and enhancement of the urban forest and Hinojosa Park, presenting today, January 7th, 2020. Congratulations. Okay, our next certificate goes to Fernanda Flores.
And all these kids and adults and Brawley residents did a fantastic job that day. A lot of volunteers put in a lot of effort and energy. So, thank them all very much. Congratulations.
Our next recipient is Sarah Hung. Sorry about that. I'm used to having my name butchered, so. There you go.
You got your name spelled right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Our next recipient is Octavio Cardenas.
We'll squeeze in here, everybody.
Yes. Okay, our next certificate goes to Ximena Torres. Congratulations, Ximena.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Alexia will not be here today.
Okay. There is a certificate for Alexia Renteria, but she's not here today, so we'll be sure to get the certificate to her. And then the adults that helped out are Maria Teresa Chaboya. Michael Noriega.
She's not here.
Our Parks and Rec Commissioner, Mary Miller.
She got all the holes. Yeah?
Thank you.
Well, she tried, but it didn't work.
Our Parks and Rec Commissioner, my other half, would you howdy be?
Thank you. Madam Mayor. Congratulations.
And the next award goes to it's a family award to Ryan, Robin, Bridget, and Connor Kelly.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for your help.
And our next recipient is Gil Revoyard. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yes. And then the last one goes to Julian Fonseca. I'd like to thank, if we could get everybody over here, do you want to say some
Yeah,
comments?
certainly. There were other people that were there, obviously, to help. We had our city manager there to assist, council members that were assisting, Mike York, our interim fire chief was assisting, and others that were there. So thank you all very much for the assistance. Parks and Rec members were there as well. So thank you all for the hard work that you put in. You know, and I don't know if you want to add something there.
I didn't put in very much work, but I wanted to acknowledge Robert Trim here from Rotary as a proud Rotarian, along with Robert. Robert works with the Interact kids, and they were instrumental because they dug most of the holes.
Thank you so much. Luke?
Did you have a turn? Yeah, it was a great event. I was really proud of all the. It's not for shade for us today. It's for their kids and their grandkids, and planting a tree is always something that's forward thinking. So I was proud of everybody for stepping in and helping out. So thanks a lot.
Thank you all very much. It's very much appreciated with all the issues that we have right now with the environment. You know, the planting of trees is very important to save our nation and save everything that keeps us alive. So thank you all very much. And now I think we'd like to kind of group together.
Yes. Just want to make one special mention of Brendan Garibay. He played a very important role in coordinating the club. Each of you are a wonderful inspiration to us in the older generations, and you each have very, very bright futures. I was really taken aback by the conversations that we had while we were on our knees digging. You're an incredible force to be reckoned with when in numbers and as individuals. You have very bright futures. So thank you so much for giving your Saturday to us. We're very fortunate to have had the chance to work with you. Okay.
Okay, we can all kind of get together in here and they look like they're
Get everybody in here. Yeah, of course. Mr. Trim, come here. Come here, Robert. We need a picture for the club. We need proof that you were here. Come on.
Okay, look this way, please. Big smiles.
Jump in there. Gotcha, you can take a picture up here.
It's okay, I got a good shot. Thank you.
Give me a hard time. There we go.
All right.
Thank you.
Good job, everyone.
I'll text you the picture.
There were some community members that weren't here. They did so much work.
Yeah, and that was the day that I had that conflict, you know, that I was at IBC and everything.
I planted like 13 trees.
You did?
Mhm.
Wow.
But that lady was.
Okay, all right. Congratulations. I didn't know I was going to give you a certificate.
Bye, Julio. See you, Julio.
I didn't.
Good job.
That was great. Always nice to give out awards.
We'll see you.
Okay.
They worked really hard that day.
Yeah.
And then we had some other community members that weren't
Yes,
here.
there was
That
quite a few.
I mean, they did such tremendous work that day. It was
a neighbor
yeah.
there. She did a lot of work.
Yeah, thank you all for that. And I know that we had been talking about planting those trees for a long time, so it was very nice when it finally happened. We kept wondering, where are the trees, and they finally got here. So, and I cruise the parks all the time because they were planted in different areas of Brawley also, and it seems like they all are doing really well, even though they were planted, you know, when it was still pretty hot. And some of them they planted them like in August, late August or something.
Yeah, yes,
So they're doing well.
lose some.
Okay, we'll go ahead and continue. We have our consent agenda. Items are approved by one motion. Council members or members of the public may request consent items be considered separately at a time determined by the mayor.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Is that Sam?
Either way.
Okay. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and move on then to, I'm sorry, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. We'll go ahead and move on to item number 5 on the agenda. Conduct the public hearing under the requirements of the Tax and Equity Fiscal Responsibility Act, TEFRA, and the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 as amended. Pages 72 through 89 in your packet. So open the public hearing. So I'll go ahead and open the public hearing at this time. Is there anybody from the public that would like to comment on this? Seeing none?
Yeah. Close. Unless there's...
Okay, seeing that there are no comments, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And move on to,
Yeah, different city manager, city presenting. And then we'll discuss.
Rosanna, would you like to make any comments on this?
Yes, so I would like to note for the council's benefit that this item is familiar because it was on our last city council agenda. It is regarding the Ocotillo Springs Apartments project. And it's a necessary action in order for the project to move forward with its financing. We had a glitch with the noticing period, and what is being proposed for today's action is to rescind the prior resolution, hold the hearing as you have, and then adopt a new resolution having the proper noticing period requirements be met.
So you need a motion?
We need first a motion regarding the resolution to rescind. We've opened and closed the public hearing, and then potential adoption of the new resolution.
Okay, I make a motion that we rescind the previous resolution, number 2019-54.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. Okay, and then, then we move on to the second resolution?
Correct.
2020, resolution of the City Council of the City of Brawley, California, approving, authorizing, and directing execution of a joint exercise of powers agreement relating to the California Municipal Finance Authority and approving the issuance of revenue bonds by the authority for the purpose of financing or refinancing the acquisition, construction, and improvement of certain facilities for the benefit of the Brawley Pacific Associates, a California limited partnership.
So I make a motion that we approve that resolution.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. Okay. Thank you, Rosanna. Okay. Thank you. We'll go ahead and move on then to item number 6, regular business. Discussion and potential action to authorize professional engineering services agreement with Lee and Rowe Engineering Incorporated for Rancho Los Lagos water impact study in an amount not to exceed $35,852. The backup is on pages 90 through 106, and Guillermo, you'll do the honors.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Ms. Mayor, members of the council, Guillermo Sillas, Public Works Director. This item is to authorize professional engineering services with consultant Lee and Rowe to perform this independent water study of the current system to be able to provide the water supply to this Rancho Los Lagos development in the amount of $35,852. As you are aware, this development is outside of city limits and is a significant in size. So we want to know better the current condition of our system to be able to provide a reliable source of water for this development, and at the same time meet the commitments that we have with the current developments inside the city limits. So any questions that you might have or comments?
Yeah, okay.
Madam Mayor, just
Yes.
for clarification also on that potential $35,852 expenditure, is that, and the city's 100% covering that cost?
It will be 75% coverage, and we have the commitment of the developer that they will cover the 25% of that amount.
Okay, so 25% from the developer, we have that commitment. I'm just making sure that from a previous, I think, presentation or discussion we had, I wasn't confusing that. So 25%?
Right, for this study only.
Okay.
The pro rata basis was determined based on the scope of work. That portion, which only benefits the Rancho Los Lagos project, was determined to be 25%. The remainder of 75% is other information that is helpful to the city in planning for increased water demand.
Right.
So we saw that as a fair method for establishing that which is privately generated.
Understood.
Okay. From the water fund?
Correct.
From water fund.
Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, if not, I'm looking for a motion.
Make a motion to approve, but my concern was, and I'll just add that comment, was with the cost. So, I mean, I know there's a split there, but it's still, $35,000, so. I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you, Guillermo.
Thank you, Guillermo.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is discussion and potential action to approve the expenditure plan and city council resolution number 2019, resolution of the city council of the city of Brawley, California, accepting grant funds from the state of California Citizens Option for Public Safety, COPS, fiscal year 2017-2018 through the State of California Local Safety and Protection Account. And the backup is on pages 107 through 112. Chief Sawyer?
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of council, Robert Sawyer, Police Chief. What you have before you tonight is an expenditure plan and the request through the resolution to withdraw or to draw down funds that are held at the county level at this current time through a state-funded grant for police services. The grant offers us the ability to use the funding towards frontline police services and equipment that are necessary to perform our duties on an annual basis. Each year, we should be coming before council to draw down the funds. We should be specifying the use for those funds and then putting that to use. This particular request would be used for communication services and equipment as part of the next-gen upgrade and the ongoing cost for our communication devices through IVECA, the Imperial Valley Emergency Coalition for the radio systems, basically. The second part of that is additional equipment to the tune of approximately $55,000 in that. And that is planned to be used for the purchase of some much-needed upgrades to the mobile data computers in our vehicles and some potential upgrades to handheld radios that will need to be purchased over the course of the next 2 years to meet the next-gen or P25 compliance requirements as put on by the RCS system that we're part of out of San Diego County.
Okay. Any questions from any council members on that?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Chief.
Congratulations. Okay. All right, so I don't need to read the resolution on that then. right? There's no need to read it then.
Correct.
Okay, our next item on the agenda is discussion and potential action, re the mayoral appointment of city council members to boards, commissions, and committees for 2020, and the backup is on pages 113 through 115. And for the public that's here, we normally, the council serves on various boards and commissions throughout the city and the county. And every year we review it to see if we want to make any changes as far as who represents on those committees or boards. And so we'll go ahead and review each one, and then if anyone is interested in making a change or is interested in serving or not serving, we can discuss and move further. So for the Brawley Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, this past year I was the delegate, and Mayor Pro Tem Hamby was my alternate, but I believe Mr. Hamby would be interested in serving as the delegate.
Yes.
Okay. So Mr. Hamby will be serving as a delegate. And is anybody else on the council interested in serving as the alternate?
I think we've served as alternates.
We all
in the
have
past,
served,
yeah.
yes.
We could appoint a city staff?
That would work.
Would you be interested, Rosanna?
I would be happy to.
Okay. We'll go ahead and have Rosanna, our city manager, Rosanna Bayonne Moore, serve as the alternate. Okay, for the Imperial County Air Pollution District Board of Directors, Mr. Couch, our Councilman Couchman has been the delegate and I have been the alternate. I'm fine with continuing. Mr. Couchman, are you
I'm fine with that, too.
Okay.
It meets probably once every 3 or 4 months.
And you've never been absent, so I haven't had the opportunity.
I might have been absent once, but I'm not sure that I notified you, but I will in the future.
Okay, yeah, notify me in the future. Or I may want to attend one of them with you since they're not held very frequently.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
You get an idea of what's going on
Right.
with air
Okay.
pollution.
Thank you. Okay, the Imperial County Emergency Food and Shelter Program, I'm the delegate and Councilman Wharton is alternate, and I'd be interested in continuing. Mr. Wharton, are
Sure.
you interested? Okay. And I think there's an error on this one. The Imperial County Film Commission, there's an error on that because I've been the delegate this past year, and so we'll make that correction. And I wish to continue. And my alternate was that you, George?
I'm not sure. I think that was Councilmember Hamby. Was
I
it?
think it was Hamby, yes. Do you wish to continue? as the
Excuse me, Mayor Pro Tem Hamby.
So who's
Okay.
going to be it? Oh, she's going to be, okay.
Are you interested in continuing? Okay. Maybe I'll invite you to a meeting so you can see.
He's the
what's
most artistic in that sense. In
That's
here,
true.
so, yeah.
That's true. I try to be, but.
Sam is just drama, but. You know, he's just,
Hey, we all have our skills.
I have grandchildren that have that skill, but they didn't inherit it from me, though,
I
unfortunately.
don't know where they got it from.
Okay, so the Imperial County Transportation Commission, Councilman George Nava and Councilman Wharton are you both interested in continuing? Okay,
yes.
Thank you. Imperial County Local Transportation Authority, Councilman Nava and Councilman Wharton will continue?
Yes.
Okay.
They meet at the same time as well as the next one, the Imperial County Service Authority.
Okay.
So it's the same.
We'll do all of those.
That will remain. League of California Cities, Councilman Wharton, and I'm your alternate. Do we want to make a change on that one?
To you, yeah.
Okay.
You're open
I
to
think I'll
switching?
probably be interested in being the delegate this year.
Okay.
And Donnie, are you interested in continuing as the alternate, or do we want to?
Be happy to be the alternate unless another council member wants that, but
Anybody?
that'd be fine on a flip-flop.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. The North County Coalition of the Arts, Councilman Couchman, and I'm your alternate.
That's fine.
Okay.
I think Luke also attends, but as a regular member.
He's
I
a
think
member of the board
the
already, so
actual-
you don't need to pull double duty. I don't
Right, yeah.
think. You can give us the opportunity to show up once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay. The Imperial County Community and Economic Development, Councilman Couchman and Councilman Nava.
They haven't met lately, have they?
I don't
Not
think
hardly.
so.
They haven't
I've-
met much lately, I don't think at all.
Council-
But we'll continue.
Councilmember Couchman has typically attended those meetings and without fail, so I quite frankly, I haven't attended as the alternate, but there could be that possibility.
I don't think they've had a meeting in a while, but I'll let you know if they do, and maybe we can go together.
Okay, yeah, that would be good. That'd be good, I think.
I think it's a good idea probably as alternates, because sometimes we don't have an opportunity to attend the meetings, and so maybe if we would attend at least a couple of them and find out what's going on, that would be good.
That's fine.
Okay, then the Abandoned Vehicle Abatement Joint Powers Authority, we have Gordon Gaist and Mr. Escalante, and so those will continue, correct? And then California Joint Powers Insurance Authority, Councilman Nava and Councilman Wharton.
Yes.
Continue, okay. Southern California Association of Governments General Assembly Delegate, we have Councilman Nava and Councilman Wharton.
Yes.
Wish to continue?
Yes.
Okay. And then Association of California Cities Allied with Prisons, and I don't think we did any of that, George.
I'm not sure of the prisons, Association of California Cities Allied with Prisons. I'm not sure they meet very often. So I just haven't participated previously. I know.
Councilmember Noriega, I
Yeah.
think, was very active.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But there isn't, I think, annual meetings that they've scheduled or anything. But I would leave that open to anybody who may be interested in going to prison. So-
Is there anybody dying to be the delegate for that one?
The delegate.
No.
I don't think anybody's
Okay.
dying to be the delegate.
George, we'll go ahead and leave you there, and if you're not available and they do schedule a meeting, I'd be
Okay.
more than happy to attend on your
All right.
behalf. Okay. Okay, that oh no. it's not-
I think there's a few more.
Okay, a
One
few
more
more.
page.
Okay, then we have the Airport Advisory Commission, and we have Councilman Wharton and Councilman Couchman as the alternate.
I don't think I've ever had to attend the meetings lately. I mean, Donnie.
So we'll
was-
continue with you, Donnie,
Me,
as
yeah.
the
Sure.
liaison? Okay. The Imperial Valley Housing Authority, I'm the liaison, and Councilman Wharton is my alternate, and I am interested in continuing also on that one. So, Donnie, are you good as the alternate? Okay. The Library Board of Trustees, we have Councilman Hamby and Councilman Couchman.
Yes.
Continue?
I've had the opportunity to attend those meetings.
Yeah, it's been probably half and half this last year.
Okay.
They're fun meetings.
And then we have the Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission, Councilman Hamby and myself as the alternate.
Yes.
Okay. And is there a conflict with my husband being on the commission?
It's only advisory.
So, okay, I'll continue then.
Should be fine.
Okay. And then the Planning Commission, we have Councilman Hamby and myself as the alternate, and I'm good with continuing. Are you fine with being
Yes.
the, okay.
I have a question with respect to the Planning Commission.
Yes.
Are we having any voice on that Planning Commission other than obviously attendance? Is there any voice there? No?
No, because a lot of the items, and our city attorney might want to weigh in, if there is an appeal.
Sure,
that
it goes to us, right.
And you're the hearing panel for
Right.
it, so actual participation is a little bit
It's just-
problematic.
Right, so it's just participating in the form of
Observing.
observing, Yeah.
And knowing what they're discussing and.
Right.
But it's probably best for us not to get too involved in it. in
Right,
case it
or
does come to-
staff are always present for those if it's desired to not attend them. I think we are certainly available to update all of you.
Yeah. No,
As you
I
wish.
would just, I wanted to see what the involvement of participation was. Yeah, that's good. I mean, then they can report back. I know I spoke with Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Hamby about his participation. Has it occurred already, the meeting?
No, it's tomorrow night.
Okay. The only reason I brought it up was like, well, I know that we don't have a voice, but at least we could be part of the
Audience.
makeup, but I guess that might pose a problem just because if there is engagement then it could,
Right.
open that door, so.
There have been,
It has happened
Yeah.
in the past.
there have been one or two occasions where I've given a comment or been asked
Oh, I
questions,
see.
so it's very rare.
Okay. Well, I would just say like a seat on the dais, because I remember we moved a few commissions over to this facility when they weren't here before, so, okay, anyway.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, and congratulations to all of us for our continued participation in all of these community projects. And I think we learn a lot by participating in these and engaging with different community organizations. Okay. And the next item on the agenda is a discussion and staff direction regarding the vacancy on the City of Brawley Parks and Recreation Commission for the term ending June 30th, 2021. I did have an opportunity to discuss this with Rosanna, and we didn't have, we weren't very successful apparently in reaching a lot of the people that were on the list before, so I would like to give direction to go ahead and advertise that again and see if we get some applicants, community members that may be interested in serving, and then we can make a determination on that, if everybody's comfortable with that.
Okay, with your direction.
Any comments on that or anything else? No? You're fine? Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, then we'll move on to informational reports. In your packet on page 116 is a record of building permits for November 2019 in the City of Brawley, prepared by Oscar Escalante, our interim building official. And it's there for your review and any questions that you may have or comments. Okay, seeing none. We'll move on to departmental reports. The monthly staff report for January 2020, prepared by our Personnel and Risk Management Administrator Shirley Bonillas on page 117.
Honorable
Shirley.
Mayor, Council Members, Shirley Bonillas, Personnel and Risk Management. On page 117 is the January 2020 report reflecting the current budget figures. We still have 2 dispatchers in backgrounds and 1 CSO in backgrounds. Hopefully those will move along. I am continually recruiting for dispatchers just to keep the applicant flow moving. We have appointed a wastewater treatment plant operator 2, a promotion. Truman Rogers was promoted to the operator 2, long-term employee. And so we'll be opening the maintenance worker very shortly. Management analyst is scheduled for interviews on the 14th, so that is moving along as well. And of course, I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Shirley? Okay, thank you, Shirley.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to departmental reports. I did that one already, Shirley. Let's see. Update by Public Works Director Guillermo Cias.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the Council. Guillermo Sillas, Public Works Director. Regarding the status of the water treatment plant sedimentation basin, we have been having issues with the contractor. He is behind the schedule, and we have been requesting him to provide a revised plan to recover. We have been having weekly conference call with him, and we have asked the city attorney to step in and send a letter to the contractor to be able to move him and to put him back on schedule. Any questions that you have?
How far behind, like time-wise, how far behind are they?
The problem with those type of contracts is that the majority of the time is used by the manufacturer to provide the materials. Once they supply the materials, is fairly quick, the installation. The contract is 305 days, and we are at 174 days. And today he provided documentation where the manufacturer is ready to ship some of the components to be installed, but the date of the installation is unknown yet until the materials arrive and he mobilize and start doing the demolition of one of the ponds for the installation. So we are confident that the involvement of legal counsel will force him to move quickly and recover. That's his promise that he said today, that he will provide tomorrow a schedule to recover.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, thank you. And
Regarding the status of the pumps 422 and 423, December 17 last year, the contractor had some issues with the pump 422, and he came back on December 20th and installed the pump 422. So he completed and removed the other pump, the 423, and took it to their shop for rehabilitation. January 6 was yesterday. The contractor informed that the company doing the coating is working on the column pipe sandblasting due to they closed during the holidays, and they just came back today to work. Once they complete the sandblasting, they will know if the column pipe will require some additional replacement or just the coating. The motor is fine electrically and just needs to be reconditioned rather than rewound, but the impeller was very damaged, and most of that was caused the damage on the drive end of the motor. Repairing it will take a little bit more work than anticipated, and he is anticipating that additional cost in the vicinity of $2,000. He will send a report once they confirm the column condition. After this work, they will have a better idea of when they can reinstall the pump 423 on the plant and complete the work. But we are in good shape with this contractor.
okay. It's just going to cost a little bit more because of what they found.
Right, depending, maybe they will be saving something if the column is in good shape, that they don't need to replace anything other than just cleaning and coating, right? But the final numbers will be determined until they do complete the inspection.
Okay. Thank you.
The other project is that the temporary traffic signal cabinet installed at Main Street and Cesar Chavez. The permanent cabinet was installed on December 12 last year, and everything is working properly. The emergency concluded, and this will be the last report on this project.
Okay, well, that's great news.
Now the next one.
I think
will
we've been
go out.
talking about this one for how long? You've been reporting on this one for how
Yeah,
many
a long
meetings?
time.
A lot
You
of
know,
meetings,
yes.
yeah. Okay.
Maybe a year.
That's great news.
A year probably.
Probably
Yeah.
almost a year.
Okay. Thank you, Guillermo.
Thank you.
Thanks, Guillermo.
Okay, the city treasurer report. Tyler?
Have something from Lee here.
Honorable Mayor, fellow council members. The one to the right.
Not too big, is it?
So, as you may have noticed, the investment report is a little bit different than in the past. That is due to there's a California government code that's required contents that have to be reported in the investment report. So I've tried to change that to meet all those requirements. I'll point out some of the differences here. If you notice, you're required to report the I can't see that, par value and market value of all the items. Okay, thank you. That's one requirement. The percentage of the total portfolio for each type of investment, that's off to the left, the right there. And there's, when we get to that last page, you'll notice there was a statement of compliance with the investment policy that has to be noted, and also a statement of the local agency's ability to meet its pool expenditure requirements for the next 6 months. Or if you don't, you have to explain why there isn't sufficient cash. So if you look at the top there, is this the rest of it?
That's the only one I have.
The first two items are separated into what I consider cash, or cash equivalents. There you have the Union Bank, which is what we use for our everyday operating expenditures, and there's a little bit of cash in the multi-bank securities. And then there's LAIF, which is, to me, is the cash equivalent because it's I can access it tomorrow, any amount that we're needed. So that totals about 24 million. The percentages of cash, liquid cash is 36% there. Next are what we call the non-negotiable certificates of deposits. That's the CDs in the local branches. Non-negotiable means there's not a market, you can't trade them. So par will always equal market value on those. Let's see here. How do you get to the next one up here, huh? One day I'll learn how to operate it.
Okay.
I can't.
Lost it.
There?
Yes, you got it.
There we go. The next list and this page and the next page are all the negotiable certificate of deposits. They're all held with multi-bank securities. Each is held at an institution there that's listed by name, and the percentage of yield there you can see. You can notice there on these, the par value differs from the market value. There's some that are higher, some are lower, and that's depending on the yield and what the market is doing as any given day. And this was as of September 30th. They're called negotiable certificate of CDs, certificate of deposits, because there's a market for them. They can be traded. We could, if we need to be, we could sell any one of those in this list. And that's a continuation there. So you see that there's $11.5 million of negotiable CDs. Next, also with multi-bank securities are the U.S. agency obligations, bonds. We have two holdings there with the Federal National Mortgage Association. You can see at the end the Moody and S&P ratings, they're pretty strong. This is the underneath there in the little statement. It meets the two requirements that are required that I stated mentioning about the compliance of investment policy and a statement that we have sufficient cash for 6 months expenditures. Our 6 months expenditures are roughly about $26.7 million for this 1920. So as you can see, we have sufficient funds. We are in compliance there. This is just a breakdown of when each of these instruments are maturing by year, and you can see there the numbers that the ladder that we have there in 2020. We have 1.2 coming due, 4.6 in 21, et cetera there. Oops, okay, the next one is if you recall last time I was going to provide a listing of what the city can or cannot invest in, and it's also in the handouts there. But let's see, what's the next one? The next. Yes. Yeah, sorry. And the reason you have to make two of them is because this is in portrait mode and the others are landscape, and you couldn't, I didn't know that you can't combine them there on PowerPoint, which is weird. But that list is kind of hard to read, but there is handouts here, over here for the public or for anybody else that
Sam's long form.
that we can invest in.
We didn't get that.
And
Maybe
maybe
we can zoom in. Let me see it.
We didn't get that one in the
Yeah,
packet.
I have it here.
Oh.
Let me see.
Can we zoom?
I think it's important that,
Down there.
Yeah, I think I goofed it up. I know, but where's a little zoomy?
You probably have to take it out of presentation. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That's better.
It's the last page of this handout here that's going around. So as you can see, these are the investment types that are allowable for all local agencies that you can invest in, and the maximum specified for each percentage of your portfolio. What the city invests-ins currently, the negotiable certificate of deposits are the only current instrument that has a limit that we currently invest in, and that's 30%, and we were right at 27%, so we're okay there. Currently we have U.S. agency obligations, maximum maturity of 5 years with no maximum limits, negotiable certificate of deposit, which I just discussed, non-negotiable CDs, and the LAIF is what we have. These are all these rest of these items, U.S. Treasuries, of course, state obligations, California local agencies, and then we actually can invest in some stronger corporate paper, but we currently don't. It's a little more risky.
Right.
And currently, we don't own any U.S. Treasuries. That market currently is about 1.5 for a 2-year, all the way up to 1.6 for a 5-year U.S. Treasury. And we currently are about 2.10 average that we're currently averaging on our yield. Any questions?
Very good.
Anybody? No? Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you
For explaining.
Very
Thanks.
good report.
So there could be some commercial investment, it's just real limited. I even saw the day count, it's like 270 days or less.
Yeah.
As opposed to, up to 5 years or more with something, yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and move on to city council member reports, and we'll go ahead and start with Sam Couchman.
Okay. I'm not sure if we reported on this. We went to the tree lighting. I'm not sure. I think that occurred the day after our meeting. So I just wanted to report, I think most of us were there. I did a coin collecting presentation at the library the second week of December. I attended the Clawda Club event at the Stockman's Club. They have a fundraiser, Christmas party type event that they had, and it was a nicely attended, well-attended, nice event. And then Market Days in Imperial, I happened to be over there also. My wife was a vendor, so I had to go. So it was a nice event. They had the parade and they had the Market Days all together. And then I was able to attend the gun show in Yuma this last weekend. And I think that's what I've done for the holidays. We've had a lot of activities on a personal family level, and I'm sure everybody at the city has, and for Christmas and for New Year's. And so, but everything I think went well. And I do think that we might have had less fireworks this year than we've had in previous years. It seemed like it to me. Now, some areas there were more, I think, but at least in our area of town, it seemed like there was less. And somebody did go on Facebook and say that, and I don't know if that's a fact or not, but it seemed like maybe the $1,000 fine has people thinking second thoughts. But overall, I thought it was a great start to a new year.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Nava?
I'll just keep it super short, just a Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody had a nice Christmas holiday and other celebrations. So that went well, and I would agree. I think at least I heard a lot less firework activity. Hopefully that was the case. I'm not entirely sure. But, also the Angel Tea that we participated at over at the library, that was great. And we had the tree lighting ceremony. And, I took this time to just focus in on a little bit of work that I had to do and was able to engage with some students, some that you saw here tonight, and get them some letters of recommendation as they're applying to schools and other things. So happy to be able to assist whenever I can. And, everybody, Happy New Year. Let's start out with a strong 2020, and let's make it a very positive one. So thank you all very much. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Councilman Warden?
You bet. Thank you. Also attended the tree lighting. It was a little bit late, but it's great to see our helpers, our elves, and of course Santa and Mrs. Claus as always. Outside that, Angel Tea, great event. It really, the only thing I want to share there is it's always a great event to recognize the work that's done at the library. And I want to personally thank Marjo for getting me started on my tamale eating season, because I went on to consume probably at least 30 tamales through the Christmas season. So
Well, that's
at
a lot of
least, I don't know,
tamales.
something like that. So I took an off season, let's put it that way. So other than that, very relaxing, enjoyable. And I too observe, even though our neighborhood did have some fireworks, but it did seem to me no matter what, I would consider it less. It just wasn't ongoing maybe. Sounded like it was coming, George, from your guys' street. I don't
was
know,
Sam.
but
George.
it was Sam?
I think it was
Okay.
George in his neighborhood.
But it didn't go on and on. So, if, for whatever that's worth, same thing. But other than that, looking forward to 2020 and appreciate, I appreciate a little bit of time that we had with our families. So. Yeah.
That's nice. Mayor Pro Tem Hamby?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As far as fireworks go, maybe there were fewer fireworks. I think in my part of town there were more gunshots this year than last year.
Oh, more
I don't know if that was Chief York or not. No,
Ooh.
no, he wasn't. He didn't have anything like that. I attended
That's the neighbor.
I attended a chamber board meeting,
You turn around.
and as Gil Revelar reported, the winter clothing drive that we had at Brownies, that was very successful. I didn't expect too many people to show up, but a lot of people did come through there and hung out and talked. So it was a neat time of community interaction. And I had a few concerns brought to me at that event. One of which was tied to our financial constraints and our changes in service levels in the coming 6 months. Specifically, the lack of or down one city inspector. So I know we've got a lot of projects in the pipeline that are gonna require a lot of extra help, so hopefully we can push those through as quickly as possible. Also fielded some concerns about the homeless and in the colder weather, and I know we've got our point in time count coming up this month, so we'll have once again an idea of how many homeless we have living in and around Brawley. I did get some positive comments from some acquaintances and friends who have not been in Brawley, who lived in Brawley but haven't been here in a while, and they drove through town and they said things are looking cleaner and nicer than they did the last time they were in town. They pointed out parts of Main Street that were under construction or businesses were closed down before and now have businesses back in them. Malin Park being cleaned up, that's a big win for the people in that area and everyone that has to drive by. So that was nice to hear some positive. And had a good holiday season with friends and family. And my little 3-year-old is trying to figure out why he's not getting any more presents this week, but we have too many to begin with. So very thankful to have gotten through 2019. It was in some ways a tough year, and I'm grateful that our past mayor Donnie Wharton was able to kind of take the lead on that, and I want to wish our new mayor Kastner Haudegi a good year, and I'll be watching closely to see what I got to do next year. So. I like sitting in this seat better than that one because there's less camera on this seat than there is on that one. So.
That's what you think until you watch the
Oh,
video.
really? Oh,
It's
man.
just a different angle.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. It seemed like we weren't meeting for quite a while. There was a lot of activity going on. So I did manage to attend the tree lighting, which was, I thought, very well attended. I was kind of surprised because we kept hearing, we weren't sure whether after our budget meeting, whether we were going to have a lot of these activities, but we did. And of course, it's always nice to see all the parents out there because, the kids are the ones that draw the parents out there and all the families. So it was an excellent event. I think, it probably will keep growing. And then I did manage to attend the Angel Tea for a short period of time. Unfortunately, I had another event or engagement that evening for the city, where they were addressing the Pure Grow community issues. So I attended that on behalf of the city, and that was also a very informational meeting that I think went well. It was a little longer than we had anticipated because a lot of the same issues were raised, but I think we're coming to a place where there's more agreement on what will happen with that. So I also attended, my husband actually was a coordinator for a big event for the Imperial Valley Cancer Support Center, and he did an excellent job with that. And I was part of his team, but I have to give him credit. He was really the one that did most of the work, and it was a very successful event. And I think they're trying to recruit him now, so you have to be careful when you do a real good job. But I was real happy with that attendance. Anything that supports the fight against cancer is always great to see the community come out and support and provide benefits to these poor people that need assistance. I attended the senior club meeting, and I informed them of some of the positive changes that we were able to make through council and management to keep the senior center open, and they were very, very happy about that. And so they'll continue to meet and continue to provide all the services that they have been providing out there. As the representative of the for the film commission, I was able to attend the premiere opening of Jumanji. And so that was really nice. I actually don't go to see those movies too much because I'm not really into all that stuff, but it probably was not a movie that I would have gone to see, but I'm really happy that I went to see it. It's really good. I recommend it. If you haven't gone out there to see Jumanji, you should. And if you have kids, that's a good one to take too. And then I attended, the very next day, we had received an invitation from the city of El Centro to meet the new consulate in Calexico. And so I had the opportunity to meet the new consulate and also the opportunity to meet the new mayor of Mexicali, who happens to be the first female mayor for the city of Mexicali. And so there was a very nice event to greet both of them, and nice little celebration that they had there at the old post office pavilion. Yes, and I attended an IAD meeting just to get information regarding some property that they're deciding whether to purchase for a big development in our north end over here by Nyland and Calipatria. So I think that one is still under discussion. So yeah, I'm sure if you read the paper or watch the news, you'll be hearing more about that. And on the 31st, at the end of the year, on New Year's Eve, I had the honor of doing a presentation, a proclamation to Mary Hartfield, who had been an employee with Vaughn's for 43 years. And so I had the honor of making her mayor of the day. And I thought it was really, I saw a picture that they took from Desert Review, if you haven't seen it. And I'm laughing so hard in that picture that I thought, oh, what in the world were we laughing at? And I think what brought out the laughter is that I shared that I was proclaiming her as mayor of the day when I had been mayor for about 2 weeks. Mm. So they thought that was pretty funny. So, and I guess I did too, after looking at that picture. And then also I enjoyed, spending time with family. A lot of my kids, all my kids were there, and they insist that I make tamales every year. So on Christmas Eve, all day long, that's what I do. I make tamales, so make the family happy. And unfortunately, I don't have enough to give to everybody. I thought maybe I could give the council some of my tamales. Oh. But after all my kids take dozens, they want to take a couple of dozens home with them. So I said, fine, take them, I'm done. So I want to wish everybody a happy new year and thank everybody for their hard work. And we're looking forward to a better year this year. And I also want to offer our condolences to our chief, Sawyer, on the loss of his father. And hopefully everything goes well for all of us this year. Thank you. Okay, moving on, we'll go ahead and go to a city manager report.
Thank you. Did want to briefly report out on a couple of items to let you know that Public Works, PD, and Fire were extremely busy over the 2-week holiday stretch. In particular, we had Public Works engaged on an emergency project or an emergency repair effort on Allen Street. We were able to assemble a team just as the workday was coming to a close and address an area that a permanent fix is out to bid for. But in the meanwhile, we've had, a third major water break in an area that's been severely impacted. So my compliments to the Public Works team for being able to locate the break in a very brittle stretch of our water distribution system, and looking forward to having a contract awarded before the City Council in the near future, once that bidding period comes to a close. Do want to also note that PD and Fire had an extremely busy 2-week window.
Sounded like it.
And PD in particular addressed a number of significant events. And it was a difficult time as we have begun to transition with lesser staffing levels in play, but very proud of the progress made on a number of incidents and individuals that were taken into custody that really were undertaking the types of activity that is a real detriment to quality of life. So my compliments to Chief Sawyer and his team for making a dent in a very important type of activity that we're doing our best to deter. And with that, I will hold on my remaining comments for closed session. Thank you.
Thank you. City Attorney report?
Just on a personal level, I had surgery at Pioneers on December 5th, and I was so impressed. I've been to Pioneers emergency room many times for karate injuries, but never for surgery. And they really treated me great, and I was back to work in like 3 days. It was really good.
Very good.
And the other thing is, Oswald and Associates is closing at the end of the month, and I'm moving my operation to Brawley. So it'll just be me.
Well,
Okay.
good for you.
Good, good.
Congratulations on that. That's
Thank you.
good.
Congratulations. Okay, City Clerk report?
Just a reminder of the league dinner on Thursday.
Okay. Thank you.
There you go.
Okay. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and go into closed session.
Yep.
Thank you all for attending. And again, wish you all a good, happy 2020.
Gonna take a break.